Welcome, YouTube. We're just waiting for Facebook to get started. Come on, Facebook, pop in there. Today we're going to talk about, hey, welcome Facebook too. Okay, today we're going to talk about what does a listing agent do, and are they worth it? And then if we have time, we'll also talk about, we'll compare the models. But I've already done other videos on that. I'll try to do a quick one. But we'll have further videos on that you can see at my website at winnerscheck.com by signing up for the free video course, or just subscribing, or maybe if you're seeing this as an ad on Facebook, maybe you'll also see the next videos in the series. So basically, let me tell you about the evolution of my thought process on this. I went on the internet and collected what a listing agent does from a bunch of different sites. By the way, I'm a real estate attorney and a broker. I've sold over 150, 160 homes as a listing agent. We've sold dozens more as a buyer's agent, and I've referred sellers and buyers out all over the country. In fact, that's the model I'm working on now. I enjoy it the most, counseling people and referring their properties out. But this was a list of 184 activities a real estate agent does. Apparently, it was compiled because at one point, a car president testified before Congress and said the public doesn't know all these things. I sort of chuckled to myself because I went through it actually, and I started saying, well, this really is value add to the home seller. These are, frequently, a lot of these things are done by in California anyway. A lot of these things are done by escrow and title. In fact, some of these things in this list, a realtor probably shouldn't even be doing. They might just get it wrong or take on liability for practicing law without a license. But I decided to shorten the list and make it more useful. And I'm also going to emphasize where the value add is of a listing agent. So first of all, just for a quick background, I want to go over the normal scenario. The listing agent is the person a seller contacts. The listing agent comes to your home, reviews goes through the rooms in the house with you. So, hopefully the agent walked in with an idea of value where, what an appraiser does. They have an idea what the price per square foot goes for homes in the area, in the average condition of the sale. And then they compare and contrast your home. They come up with an anchor model or an exact anchor house. And then they compare and contrast your home with that anchor model, and they come up with a value for your home. Now, there are other methods of evaluating homes, such as, and I've gone over this in a video about appraisals. They could do the cost the replacement method or the cost method. A lot of homeowners like the idea, well, I've spent $50,000 on the room, so it's worth $50,000. Maybe not. Maybe spending $50,000 on the room would only increase the value of your home $10,000, because the basis that appraisers and consequently banks value properties, and a lot of times you're selling your home to someone with a loan who's going to have to get a loan. They value it based on the comps and whether your home is superior, inferior to those comps. And then there's a little bit of a range. I mean, there's no doubt that I think appraisers can go up about 2 or 3% from the comps, especially in a strong market. Maybe a little more sometimes if your home is gorgeous. But at some point, you're going to be anchored by those comps. And after that, if a buyer really wants to pay that much more, they're going to have to supplement it with their own cash. So what does a listing agent do? Well, they go to your home, they talk to you about pricing, and if you agree to list your property with them, they'll put it on the MLS, they'll market the property, and they'll go through this list. How much do they charge? Well, generally, in the past, it might have been 6% to sell your home. And let's say normally, not always, but they normally say 3 for the listing agent and 3 for the buyer's agents. And that 3% would be advertised on the MLS to buyer's agent. Say, hey, here's everything you need to know about the property. Here's some pictures. And if you sell this home for me, I'll pay you 3% of the commission out of the 6%. Well, it didn't even matter. Like, it could be a 4% commission, but the agent would offer 3. So what the listing agent was getting paid is sort of irrelevant. The buyer's agent saying, yeah, I would bring a buyer to that house to get paid 3% if they buy it, or 2.5%, or 2%. As the prices, as homes go up in general, the amount of the commission might go down from 6% to 5%. And now with discount brokers, sometimes it'll go down even further. It might get to maybe 4%. But in that case, you don't want to we'll go into other videos, but the point is you should offer, if you're going to use the MLS to market to buyers and agents, particularly the MLS is good for marketing to agents, you want to compensate them the normal amount or more in most circumstances, in my opinion. There are exceptions, but you have to understand why you're making those exceptions. It seems like a total waste to offer some money on the MLS. I mean, if you don't want to pay buyer's agents, try selling your home for a week or two without them, but then go on the MLS and use it if you can. I mean, another video for that. Okay, so now, what does your listing agent do? Well, they help you price the property. Now, incidentally, I think the whole process can be improved because in order for you to decide what you want to do, you should find out 4 prices. You should find out this CMA price. This is the realtor price. This is the bank price. And we'll go over that. Obviously, we have online pricing models, and those enter into the equation. We'll have a separate video on pricing, but you want to know the CMA price. You want to know the most likely maximum selling price. At some point, either because of the condition of your home, and it's just sort of becomes obvious you can only sell for so much, or because of the competition, let's call it maximum likely selling price. You want to know where the competition, people will just say, I'd rather have that home and spend an extra $10,000 or $20,000. Or, a hard situation where you're like, well, there's 3 homes that, let's say your house is $1 million, there's 3 homes at $1.1 million that are far superior to your home, so you'd never get 1.1. Like, you need to be aware of that. That's part of studying the market, whether you do it or your agent does it. I think you want to know, it's very important to know what list price. Where would your realtor, if the realtor takes a listing, where is your realtor comfortable listing the home on the market for you? Because now you already know what the value is and what the max price is. Where's that list price coming in? And I think you want to know, and you should get this from your agent, at least I always do, what are the sales in your area? What are we seeing between the list price and the selling price? Are homes on average selling for 98% or 97% of the list price, as they do in Southern California? I checked last month, 98% in San Diego, parts of Orange County, it was 97-ish. It varies a little bit, but it was almost all 97 to 98. Now, towns in Northern California can sometimes be way above 100%. Like you put it on the market and you might get 110%. That's a different equation. When you're selling super luxury homes or you're selling homes in a market where people are paying far above, different strategies. It's even more important, however, to have a great agent who talks and represents you well. It's so important to make sure you're working with the right agent. Just maybe like there might be 1 or 2 agents in each area that can really do the job for you in those circumstances, in the whole area. Whereas I think I'm going to suggest to you that the best agent for homeowners to work with is one of the agents that sells the most homes in your neighborhood. It's rarely going to be a discount agent. It's rarely going to be 99% of the other agents that I would recommend. I mean, when I refer friends, family, clients out, I do a little market research. I go on the internet. We'll show you exactly what I do in videos. I've done it before. But the point is, I find out who's doing business in the area, especially the brokerage. And then I talk to the broker. I'd say, I've got a client that's looking for these things. I definitely, I can tell you right now, I've sold over 200 homes as a broker myself, so I understand the business. I want to work with an experienced agent who's done business in your area and can explain, and we'll go over some of the questions that are apropos for my client and the situation. So I want to work with one of those agents, and then frequently, sometimes the clients just hire me as an attorney and say, I don't want to seek a commission referral. It surprisingly happens an amazing amount. But most of the time, I would say, and by the way, I'm a broker and attorney, and I'd like to work with an agent that's willing to share a referral fee. And I've never been turned down, so it's not like that. It's industry practice to have referral fees. So that part's not a problem. Now, okay, so you want to know the listing price. And finally, I suggest to my sellers, not even to share it with me, even when I'm selling a house with my wife, I'm like, honey, these are the facts. This is what we're going on. I want you to pick a price in your head and write it down, because that price definitely changes. I know it's happened to me. You want to write it down and say, at what point will you be happy with a property to sell? And I'm going to tell you why later, why it's so important to know that number in your head. So there's 4 prices: maximum selling price, the CMA is sort of the value, whether it's derived from an appraiser, from your realtor, or even the online home models, you should be able to distinguish the online home models. But you want to zero in on what the banks are going to be thinking, what buyers are going to be thinking, and you want to market. You can even, that can be a great marketing strategy. So you want to know the CMA, the list price, and your secret, the threshold selling price you'd be interested in. Because frankly, unless you know that, some of these other pricing things your realtor might suggest you won't make a lot of sense. I mean, you just have to know that, and you have to know. I've got stories, but you have to know what your max likely selling price is. My sister, when she talked to me last July, well, she talked to me in like June. She was talking about selling price. Should she hire a discount broker or a great agent? I gave her my standard, and I'll explain it further. But I was like, with discount brokers, you might save 1.5% at the most. A great agent can more than make up for that in most circumstances just by using a great method and their communication skills, working with buyers agents, and people, even buyers agents, trusting them. I said it's short-sighted to work with a discount broker if you're only going to save 1 or 1.5%. If you're looking to save more, hire a lawyer or hire someone who will work for like 0.5% for 15 or 20 days and see if you can make your numbers. But first, find out what that max likely selling price is and what the value of your property is. Well, when she started just talking to people, someone actually informed their friend, my daughter was thinking of selling. Knock, knock, knock on the door. One of the top agents in the area saying, I'm representing a buyer. We've already looked at the other homes. I can already tell my buyer loves your home. We're going to offer you a fair price, and I'm only going to seek a 1.5% listing commission, just in the regular buyer's commission. So you're going to get it as if it's a discount broker. My sister, because we had already been discussing, already knew her home was worth X. She already knew the competition. I think she was about 900. The competition got strong around 930, so she knew her range. And when her number came in there, and the listing agent was working for a fair price, she was like, "I've got it. This is great." And I happened to be there during the 4th of July when the offer and everything was coming in. I met the listing agent. I fired questions at her. She was very experienced. It was awesome. So that's what the listing agent does. Now, the marketing of your home. I've gone into other videos on this. Let me just say the marketing of your home it can be very, very, very important, because here's the idea. If you can get 15 to 20 real buyers into your property in a given time frame, you're in our markets for the last 5 to 10 years, you're going to get offers in California, right? So if you're only getting 1 or 2 people in, then it's probably a problem with your property, its location, its condition, or your price. You should have showings. If you can get 10 or 15 showings, myself, it's not just me, many experienced agents will tell you you're going to get offers if you get 10 or 15 showings. I personally think you should compress them all into a Saturday and a Sunday. Like just say, hey, we're going to be selling the property next weekend. We're going to have a big open house Saturday and Sunday. Come see it, because then you have scarcity, you have competition, you have all these multiple offer negotiations are much easier. It's all better, and it's a great process. Not every seller wants to do that. Not every listing agent is comfortable with this. But the idea is that your agent should be able to combine a good price, a great listing price, and their marketing to get lots of buyers into your property in a short period of time, in the time period for which you want to sell. Like, no one wants to show their home every day, get out of their home every afternoon for an hour for a month at a time. What you really want to do is get a lot of offers in a compressed period of time, so you know you're going to sell your home, if you negotiate it well, for the most the market will pay at that period of time. So that's, I think that can be interchangeable. I mean, when you combine MLS marketing with Facebook and YouTube marketing and local marketing, there's thousands of different ways to do it. But when you're doing those things and you're doing them medium well to well, I mean, Facebook now has taken, Facebook's made it easy. You're going to get showings, and you can, if you haven't locked yourself into like a 3-month contract, if you're not getting the showings in the first week or two, you can change. You can change the agent. You can change the process. And I believe sellers should maintain flexibility. Now, the next thing. So these are things. It's many good agents can do. Let me put it there. This is not like the 1% of agents. This is good agents. Good agents can do this. Now, this, in my opinion, is where real estate agents really earn the money. The variation in this area here between a poor agent, an average agent, an above average agent, and a great agent is massive. This bringing in offers and how you work with those offers can easily, like on a $900,000 home, it can be the difference between, easily, I've seen, this is a true example, between 870, 865 and losing buyers. And 2 weeks later, 915, 920, and maybe could have sold more. I've seen that consistently. Not all the time. How many times do people call me up and say, I want to dismiss my agent, I want to change. But I can tell you that it can be 5% pretty easily. I mean, as a seller, do you really know if you're in that $900,000 range and you've got 2 or 3 multiple offers, and in the end it ends at 870? Let's say it's 2% less than the 900. It sells it on average in San Diego. Let's say your house CMA is 900,000. Your agent says, well, let's market it. Let's sell the home at fair market value. Sometimes they say even lower, but almost everyone says let's put on the MLS at fair market value, and we'll get multiple offers. So the multiple offers come in at 970, 975, maybe 980. 2% of 900,000's about that 980 number. It'd be like, what, 882. You're at 900, and they start coming in at 875, 880, multiple offers. Let's say you get 3 or 4 those first 2 or 3 days on the market because you're in a desirable neighborhood and your home is in good shape. And 60, 70% of the homes in California get multiple offers. Okay, so now they've come in. You've been at 900, and your agent doesn't do that good a job. There's multiple offers. He or she sends out counters to all of them. You're in a multiple offer situation. One was a weaker buyer. They backed out. They couldn't go any higher. They were already stretched. 1 or 2 could go higher. They come back. They go up $3,000 or $4,000. So now they're at 885. Maybe they got to 890 at the end of the process, and you're done. And so now you've sold it 99. Let's say it was 98.5, 99% of your list price. And you're like, we're at 900. We got this. It's done. I mean, everyone says, and this isn't true. It's far from true, but everyone says your best offers are in the beginning, and you're done, right? So your agent helped you sell your home for a little bit less than fair market value and claimed 5 or 6% to share between the listing agent and the person representing the buyer. It could also be your listing agent. Many times it will be when it's that kind of pricing. Sometimes it'll be a buyer's agent. And you sold your home in 3 days, and that agent's marketing, we sold homes in 2 days and everything's wonderful. Now, let's look at that same scenario, 900,000, but your agent does the following. And they're prior till the National Association of Realtors has come out against pocket listings, and they've come out against they say within 48 hours of when your marketing begins, it has to be on the MLS. So they've knocked out 2 of the strongest tools for real estate agents and really sellers to save real estate commissions. They just knocked it out. They said it's unethical. I believe by May nobody's supposed to be doing it. Okay, so now what happens is, it takes, if you're doing social marketing, you go up on Google Facebook, and spend $20, $30 a day marketing your home, nice pictures, compelling reason, big open house this weekend, we'll be reviewing offers, Sunday evening, we've already got a few, opportunity there's lots of ways to phrase it. People see it and you promote it. I would like to see your agent promote a range. Let's say it was 900. You'd say range would be 870 to 900. Or offers start at 870. They can do more research and say it's listed for 900. You could talk about the fact that we've already got offers on Sunday evening. We're not gonna counter anybody. We're gonna let the buyer. We're gonna give every buyer an opportunity to purchase this home by letting them know where the offers are. So instead of back and forth with paperwork, and it's a much better process. I've talked about it in other videos. Now, if you do that process, you have the home on the week before you're looking at offers, people might have started at 870, but 2 or 3 days later, people saw it on Facebook. They came out and saw it on Saturday or Sunday. They already know, because you've already got a threshold offer you can accept. Now you're saying, well, we're at 870. You're going to have to beat that. They're 880, 890, 900. So now, if your realtor can convey to the buyers that, on Sunday evening, this is going to go. We've already got offers, but it's your opportunity to buy this home. You're going to know Monday, if you're the owner of this home, you can easily get that same scenario to 915, 920. And then here's where actually having a smart agent, and what would happen if you're checking on is that, let's say it's going to appraise likely around 900, 915, 920 shouldn't be a stretch, but you want to make sure that buyer has a little bit more than 20% down, just in case. So those are things. If you're used to selling homes for fair market value or above, you start knowing how to vet buyers. So this is what experienced agents have sold homes 20, 30, 40 times do. Inexperienced agents will have you pick the strongest offer, and then all of a sudden that person can't qualify, and they have to come back and reduce the price of your home to comply with the lender, right? So I think just in this part alone, I have explained, and I know that a strong agent who sold 20 or 30 homes, who has credibility, who can talk to buyers, potential buyers, and agents, explain the process, knows how to shop offers properly, communicate with you, make sure you're satisfied with the offers that come in, you could sell to those people, knows how to shop those offers, whether they use the process I like or they shop them on the phone, they can, given time, given a week, given a good process, they can easily get you back to that listing price or far above in certain areas. So it seems to me saving 1.5% on a discount agent versus working with an agent who can make a 4 or 5% difference to you, I would take the experienced agent who knows your area, who's sold multiple offers and personally works with you and personally communicates with buyers and buyers agents, would be the right decision for most sellers. Now, are there exceptions? Absolutely. I mean, if your home's clearly worth some number, it's in a subdivision, 20 homes are selling, you're just looking for a little bit more because your house is a little bit better, but you take the subdivision amount, at that point, why even use the MLS? Why not just skip the MLS, hire an attorney who can help you with the transaction, hire a listing agent who's willing to just try to sell your home for a week or two without the MLS, and save the 2.5%, 3% you'd be paying for the buyer side, and maybe 1% with the listing agent. I mean, you could save 3 or 4% and get that number without the MLS, then do it. So anyway, in next videos, I'm going to talk to you about this. This is massively important. I've lost money when I've fixed and flipped homes by not taking care of by not having my disclosures prepared ahead of time and made sure they were in the hands of the buyer and the buyer's agent. It's very, very important. I think even before you're pricing the home and you talk to an agent, that you prepare your disclosures. You go room by room review. You do your disclosures. It gets factored into the pricing, into whether you should make repairs, into whether you should stage, and you have to make sure it's in the buyer's hands and the buyer's agent's hands before you'll review any offers. That it's very, very important. It could save you 10, 15, 20 or more. It could save you thousands of dollars in negotiations. So it also knocks out a lot of, if you're combining your disclosures, the fact that you've inspected the property, you've paid for an inspector, and in a homeowner's warranty, you combine that together, you knock out so many buyers' objections, you save yourself. A lot of buyers will do it. Okay, I'm going to go into that in other videos in this series. Go ahead and go to winnerscheck.com. You can see the whole series. It's going to be 9 parts or more. And if you'd like to talk to me about how we can not only help you select a great agent, but even turn a fantastic agent, the best agents in any area, as you know, that's what I'm advising, and turn them into discount agents, how we can negotiate a discount with the best agents in your area, and how we can do it fairly easily. And as I said, I've never been turned down seeking a referral commission. Go ahead and go to winnerscheck.com and set up a consult, or yeah, well, that's it. All right, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye. John McConnin, winnerscheck.com. I'm having trouble turning this off. That's interesting. All right, here we go. Thanks.